Everyone wants $10,000 a month, but almost no one talks about what actually decides whether you'll ever see it. Because before you chase more money, you have to learn how to control the money you already touch. Most people don't have an income problem. They have a decision problem. And if that feels a little uncomfortable, that's okay. This is where real change starts. I'm Simone, and welcome to Dollars and Common Sense. This is a safe space for real-life money resets. No shame, no pretending. Just honest numbers and smarter moves. In the last video, I plugged the leaks that were quietly draining my account. But today, we're talking about what comes next. The mindset, the habits, the identity shift that decides whether more money helps you or hurts you. So if you've ever thought, if I just made more money, everything would be fine, stay with me, because what we're about to talk about might change how you see money forever. When I finally plugged my money leaks, I thought I'd crossed the finish line. Subscriptions canceled, waste exposed, charges under control. I remember sitting there thinking, okay, I did that. I fixed that problem. I was so proud of myself, y'all. But a few days later, I realized something surprising. Even with the leaks plugged, I still felt financially unsafe. On paper, I had done the responsible thing. I had cut the extras and tightened up the spending. So why did my bank account still feel like a ticking time bomb? That's when it hit me. Cutting expenses is not the finish line. It's the starting line. Plugging leaks fixes what's leaving your account. But it doesn't fix what's happening in your mind when you make spending decisions. Because if your money decisions don't change, the leaks don't disappear. They just come back wearing different clothes, literally. New subscriptions, new impulse buys, new treat yourself moments that quietly add up. Most people stop at leak plugging. They feel proud for a moment and then quietly drift back to old habits. Not because they're careless or irresponsible, it's because their money mindset is still stuck in the past. Let me show you a simple exercise that changed everything for me. Start with your bedroom. Just walk in and look around. No judgment, just curiosity. Look for clothes hanging in the closet with tags still on them. Shoe boxes storing shoes you might never wear. Exercise equipment that was supposed to revolutionize your body, now quietly serving as a very expensive clothing rack. Then walk into the kitchen. A fancy gadget that was supposed to be a time saver is just a dust collector. Bulk food items bought with good intentions, slowly approaching expiration dates. Then go to your basement or family room. Bins of old hobbies, half-finished projects, boxes that were never opened. In the corner of my living room is an electric keyboard I bought for my daughter. I imagined her playing music, growing into a musician. That wasn't her dream, it was mine. Now the keyboard just sits there, reminding me how easy it is to throw money at technology that is quickly outdated and part of a future that never actually arrives. Do this exercise and suddenly, your home stops being just a home. It becomes a record of money decisions, frozen in physical form. In the moment, each one of those purchases made sense. But now, wouldn't you rather have those thousands of dollars in your bank account? I know I would. The good news is, we can learn to pause long enough to ask whether a purchase serves the life we're living or just the life we imagine. Standing in the different rooms in my home, surrounded by all those silent money decisions, was a light bulb moment. Not just my spending, my role. Because up until then, I wasn't in charge of my possessions. They were in charge of me. So I made a decision. I became the CEO of my possessions. CEOs drive a company's financial success. In doing so, They decide who is hired and who gets let go to maximize the bottom line and keep the company moving in the direction of its vision. From that moment on, I set a new rule for my life. Every future purchase had to earn its job. No more random hires, no more emotional recruitment, no more bringing something into my home just because it looked good in the moment. Future purchases were only allowed if they were essential employees. I look at something on Amazon and ask myself, does this item serve my life? Does it solve an actual problem? Does it move me closer to peace or closer to panic? If it didn't pass the interview, it didn't get the job. And here's the funny thing. Once I started thinking like a CEO, shopping stopped feeling like comfort and started feeling like responsibility. Not heavy, not restrictive, just intentional. Because when you realize your money is hiring your lifestyle, you start choosing your team very carefully. Once I became the CEO of my possessions, something else became clear. If I didn't learn how to lead the money I already had, more money wouldn't save me. It would just give me bigger rooms to fill with bigger mistakes. We tell ourselves, if I just made more, everything would be fine. But if money is leaving your hands without intention, a bigger paycheck just means larger leaks. And then I remembered something that shocked me the first time I heard it. Lottery winners. People who receive millions overnight often end up broke. Not because they didn't get enough money, but because they never learned how to make decisions with it. So let me ask you something. Why chase a larger-than-life payday if you haven't learned how to handle the paycheck you already have? This is why I say most people don't have an income problem. And once I saw that, everything about my money journey changed. By the way, if you want someone in your corner while you rebuild your money life, hit subscribe. We need to talk about something that quietly drains more money than any subscription ever could. Stay with me here, because no one is talking about this. Get-rich-quick promises. They can drain your wallet and also impact your financial energy. If you don't get rich like they promise you, that L goes into a bucket called forever broke. They are not selling you the work, they are selling you the reward. Because if someone made a video titled, "Work from 4 a.m. until 6 p.m. for months before you see results," would you click on it? Of course not. They sell you the fantasy. And this isn't new. 100 years ago, traveling salesmen stood on wagons selling bottles of miracle medicine. They promised healing, energy, a brand new life in a jar. But inside those bottles, just cheap, ordinary oil and empty hope. So here we are in a different century, but it's the same snake oil. And the wild part? That old snake oil didn't actually heal anything. It just made your skin tingle. So people thought, oh, it's working. A sensation instead of a solution. And modern money scams do the same thing. They give you a rush of hope, a screenshot of someone else's bank account, a countdown timer, a little tingle of possibility, but no real foundation underneath. And here's the hard truth. If everyone could sit back and make tens of thousands of dollars effortlessly, there would be no need for these scams. We'd all already be living that life. Real money has always required real effort, real learning, real consistency, one keystroke at a time. And I promise you this, we will talk about how AI can help you work smarter to grow your income. But first, we build the foundation. After all of this, I realized the biggest change wasn't in my bank account. It was in how I talked about myself. For years, I said things like, I'm just bad with money. I'll never get ahead. This is just how it is for me. And every time I said it, I was giving that story a permanent job in my life. So I decided to change the language and started saying, I'm in financial training because broke is a dead end. But training means growth, progress, and that you're becoming someone new. I didn't need to be perfect. I didn't need to know everything. I just needed to stay in the room, stay curious, and keep making better decisions than I made yesterday. And once I claimed that identity, a woman in financial training, every choice started to feel different, not forced, not heavy, just part of who I was becoming. If this video gave you a new way to think about your money, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for subscribing and making this message a part of your day. And in the next video, I'm going to show you some practical and powerful ways I prompted AI to maximize my tax deductions, so my money stops slipping through the cracks at tax time too. If you want to start making every financial decision like a budget boss, you'll want to catch that one.